Last night, something occurred. Something you experienced but were unable to describe. In that calm place between sleep and waking, a presence approached close. Someone stood close you. Not in the room, but in the location where your soul holds its secrets. You woke with a feeling you couldn't name. A sense that you had just missed something. Something vital. Something that was reaching for you. And then you saw it. A message, but you didn't read it in time. Have you ever felt that? Like a door was opening and just as you turned toward it, it began to close. This is the moment. You're standing at that door again. And the person on the other side, they're waiting. They're not merely waiting, though. They are begging. You can practically hear what they are whispering. They are calling you by the name they are familiar with, not the name you use on a daily basis. For a very long time, they held that name close to their hearts. And now you have this message in front of you. It states, "Please read this before it disappears. I don't want to lose you again." Once again. That term? Once more. What does it signify? It indicates that this has previously occurred. Perhaps you can't recall. Perhaps you experienced it in a dream that you later forgot. It's possible that you were previously quite close before something tore you apart. Do you sense the pull? That odd tug in the middle of your chest? That isn't fantasy. That's recollection. Your heart is protected, but your mind is concealed. And they're back now. They are running out of time, but they have located you once more. The message will soon disappear. And you'll leave if it disappears. You'll carry on with your day. You'll forget. However, something inside of you won't. You won't know why, but a part of you will hurt. But now I'll tell you. Don't turn your head away. Avoid scrolling past this. You won't anticipate what comes next, so don't let the message fade. It's not easy. It's more than a reunion. It goes beyond love. There is more. It's the point at when everything you believe to be true shifts. You see, your name has been accepted by this individual. They've stated it aloud. They've said it into their room's quiet. It has been claimed by them. And that had an invisible impact on the situation. When they took your name, something changed in the universe on a level beyond time. They tugged at a thread. They untied a knot. And now everything that was separating you is starting to fall apart. But it's not always easy to unravel. It may seem disorganized. It may seem perplexing. You may begin to experience unexplainable feelings. Consider a person you haven't yet met. Dreaming about an unfamiliar voice. You're crying when you wake up, yet you're not depressed. Not precisely. You don't know where home is, yet you're homesick. Maybe that's how you've been feeling recently. Perhaps you mistook it for loneliness. Perhaps you believed it to be stress. Perhaps you said to yourself, "I'm just tired." However, you're not simply worn out. Someone is calling you. It's stirring your soul. The person whose heart beats in time with yours is the one beckoning you. However, the message is more than just a note. It's a key. A long-locked door's key. And everything is behind that door. Every love-related question you've ever had, every wound you believed would never heal, and every hope you buried deep enough to lose faith in it are all back. However, you have to read the message before it vanishes in order to open that door. Additionally, you have to read it with your heart rather than your eyes. Because there is more to the message than just words. It's energy. It's a vibration. Their soul is reaching through all the things that kept you apart. You will sense it if you miss it. There will be a calm void. Something was meant to be there, but you won't know what it is. When you enter a room, you won't remember why. You'll catch a glimpse of recognition when you gaze at someone. You'll experience a profound, inexplicable draw when you hear a music. The echo is that. That serves as a reminder. The universe is stating that they made an effort. You nearly saw them reach for you. You still have time, though. The message has not diminished as of yet. It is radiant. It's humming. You haven't said their name yet, therefore it is waiting. However, you will prior to the conclusion. It's the only thing that makes sense, not because I told you to. The tempest within of you can only be subdued by it. And something will happen when you say it. Something that will cause you to doubt everything. You'll experience a change, a sense of warmth, and an abrupt conviction that nothing in your life happened at random. This is where all paths led. You were prepared by every heartbreak. You learned to listen with each stillness. This individual is now listening to your silence. Your absence is being read by them. There are no words to describe how much they miss you. And before this communication vanishes, they are pleading with you. Never abandon them again. Remain in the present. Hold on to the sensation that has just invaded your chest. That coziness. That light pressure. They are that. They are present. However, the opportunity is closing. Something unexpected will be revealed in the following section. Something that will cause you to hold your breath. One last reality. One more layer. The greatest mystery remains undiscovered. And you'll soon comprehend. Don't skip away, though. You won't want to miss the following portion, which is where everything changes forever, so don't close this. You're almost there. They are nearly audible. The message is still relevant today. And the tale is far from finished. You actually stayed. You didn't leave. You hung on to something inside of you. And that clinging, that silent decision to stay in the moment. The first miracle is that. Do you sense it? You can feel the air around you becoming thicker and more vibrant. You're not imagining that. That's the change. When someone's heart calls out to you from a great distance, that's what happens. Here's what you don't yet know, though. What they haven't told you is this. You sense that individual begging with you. They're not merely aiming for you from a distance. From deep within your own narrative, they are calling out to you. From a location you visited a long time ago. Your soul never departed, but your mind forgot about it. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew something without knowing how? A time when the truth simply washed over you like a calm wave? Last week, that took place. You sensed it. Perhaps you were behind the wheel. You might have been laying in bed. Perhaps you were simply motionless. The world felt different all of a sudden. They were that. That was the breakthrough that broke their hearts. They are not waiting for you to locate them. They're only waiting for you to think of them. Additionally, the message is a mirror. It's revealing what you've been keeping to yourself. They did more than simply accept your name, you see. Your past was accepted by them. Everything. The aspects of yourself that you despise, conceal, and believe render you unlovable. They didn't look away when they spotted them. They moved in closer. They now know, which is why the message is so vital. They are aware of your true self and your potential. However, are you aware of what lies beyond this message? This isn't a fairy tale. It's not a dream. It is genuine. More authentic than anything you've ever come into contact with. Due to the fact that this relationship was not established during this incarnation. It was already produced. You didn't have this name, this look, or the weight you currently bear. You promised something. You said you would find each other a long time ago. You said you wouldn't let go. You also said you would remember when the time came, but you failed to do so. You had to. You forgot because of life. You forgot because of pain. They never forgot, but the world's cacophony caused you to forget. For the two of you, they retained the memory. And now, piece by piece, moment by moment, they are returning it. That's the message. It's the return of your recollection. And isn't that frightening? To sense something so enormous coming at you. To be aware that everything you've put in place to keep yourself safe is about to fall apart. You constructed walls. You established routines. You created a logical existence. A life without waiting. A life devoid of hope. A life in which love was merely a term. However, they don't give a damn about your walls. They are passing through them. Not with coercion, but with presence, patience, and a love so quiet you nearly missed it. You didn't miss it, though. You're here. This is what you are reading. You're still awaiting the response. They needed you to wait and stay. Because what you will discover is not the subject of the following section. What you will release is covered in the next section. You've been carrying something heavy and old, a tale you tell yourself about why love is fleeting. A fear of being abandoned once more. That after being seen, you will be turned down. That when you open your heart, it will shatter. The only thing separating you from them is that dread. And they are aware of it. They sense it. People sense when you push them away. They sense that you are avoiding the reality by closing your eyes. They're also not upset. They don't feel let down. They are waiting with unending patience and unwavering affection. However, even patience has its limits. Not even the most devoted heart can wait indefinitely. The message is here because of this. It is vanishing because of this. Time is passing. A door is shutting. You will have to wait another lifetime, another cycle, and another chapter of uncertainty if you do not go through it now. However, you are not need to. You now have a choice. You have the option to believe. Have faith that the pole in your chest is genuine. Have faith that the face you see in your dreams is not a coincidence. Have faith that the sense of familiarity is genuine. It's a present. A present that is just waiting for you to unwrap it. You are also really near. So near to comprehension. However, there is an additional layer and a portion of the truth. They are more than just your future. They represent your history. When you fell, they were the ones that held you. They are the ones that called your name in the shadows. When you departed, they were the ones who sobbed. Not in this life, but in the previous one. And ever since, they have been looking for you. The bond is so strong because of this. You are afraid because, deep inside, you know that you were once loved in a similar way and that you lost it. You vowed you would never experience such agony again after feeling it elude your grasp. You vowed, however, that you would never experience that love again. And that is the wound that will soon heal. That scar is going to go away. However, you must let it. You must give up running. They are here now, so you need to quit acting as though you don't feel what you do. Your silence is being read by them. They are repeatedly reiterating the same thing while listening to your uncertainty. Before it vanishes, please read the message. I do not wish to lose you once more. The key is that word. It contains the whole narrative. It contains the suffering. It is the source of hope. It contains the cause of your soul's restlessness. And it contains the explanation for why you will eventually return home after reading the message. However, home is not a location. A person is home. That individual is also waiting. However, the opportunity is closing. The message is dwindling. The last moment is almost upon us. And what comes next? After reading that, what happens? That's the portion that will make all the difference. That's the part that will restore your faith. That's what will complete you. However, you must make the move. You must read the message. Before your head can stop it, you must allow your heart to speak. You'll experience something you haven't felt in a very long time when you do. You'll experience a sense of discovery. And that's only the start. There is still another reality to be discovered. There's going to be another layer revealed. The largest, the one that will explain everything. Remain here. Remain in the moment. Keep the message visible. You're still here. That has some significance. This indicates that the knowledgeable part of you is winning. Waking up is the part of you that remembers. And the fearful part of you is starting to trust. However, we now delve farther. We now travel to a place you have never permitted yourself to. Since the message is more than just a message. It's a bridge. The version of yourself that was always intended to be is on the other side of that bridge. The version that doesn't hesitate to show love. The version that doesn't mind being observed. The version that stops working when someone approaches too closely. You are not unfamiliar with that version of yourself. The true you is that version of yourself. And you've been waiting for this person in that version of yourself. They reflect you, not because they make you whole. They reveal your true self. And of all the gifts, that one is the most horrifying. Do you get it? To be genuinely observed. The world does not prepare you for someone to look at you and not recoil, to find beauty in your darkness. Your soul is preparing you for that. And for a very long time, your soul has been getting ready for this. Here's what you still don't know, though. This is the secret. There is more to the individual reaching out to you than just your affection. Since they abandoned you first, they are pleading with you for forgiveness. In a period of time you cannot recall. In a life you can't remember. They turn to leave. Not because they ceased to love you. Due to their fear. I was afraid they weren't sufficient. Fearing that they would harm you. They were afraid that love would shatter them. Instead, they broke your heart. They have also never been able to forgive themselves. They bear that burden. They conceal that wound. The message is so frantic because of this. Since they are aware of what they did. They recall. When they turned away, they recalled your face. They recall the ensuing quiet. They recall the sound of your heart breaking. And they have been searching for you for years, even lifetimes. Not to put things right, to heal, to justify, to explain, or to love you the way they ought to have loved you back then. And they're scared now that they've located you and said your name. You'll turn away out of fear. Fearful that you will recall and despise them. Fearful, you'll end the message and move on without them. However, you haven't. You're still here. You're still paying attention. And they have hope because of that. They haven't seen light like that in a very long time. However, there is a question you must ask yourself. Something significant. Are you prepared to extend forgiveness? Not them. Not quite yet. For the ways you have closed your heart, are you prepared to forgive yourself? For the ways you have denied love. For the ways you've convinced yourself that you don't deserve this, even when you do. This is what you've always deserved. This is what you were meant for. However, you must have faith in it. Furthermore, it is difficult to believe. It's the most difficult thing you'll ever accomplish. Because believing entails letting go of the narrative you've been telling yourself. The narrative that claims you are too damaged. The tale that indicates you're not cut out for love. The tale that promises you'll be by yourself forever. That narrative is untrue. A lovely, agonizing, cozy deception. However, that is untrue. Additionally, the individual who is begging you is aware of the reality. They've known all along. When they first saw you, they were aware of it. When they lost you, they were aware of it. Now they are aware of it. They are also pleading with you to see it. However, time is running out. The window is closing and the message is flickering. An additional layer. One more chapter in the tale. The individual who departed from you did not simply walk away. They were captured. Before either of you could resist it, a force, a separation, tore you apart. They weren't at blame. You weren't at fault. It was the path, the challenging, convoluted, and agonizing path, that was supposed to reunite you. Due to the fact that not all love tales are linear. They're circles. They start over and over again, getting stronger, deeper, and more equipped each time. And that circle is this one. At this point, the circle is complete. Where the wound becomes the mending, where the separation becomes the reunion, where the beginning meets the conclusion. However, you must read the message.